2:13 a.m. The emergency dispatch center in Millhaven received a call from a boy whispering so quietly the operator could barely hear him. He kept repeating the same sentence over and over. "Something is wearing my dad's face." In the background there was a wet dragging sound, like heavy garbage bags being pulled across a floor. The operator tried calming him down, asking for his address, but the boy suddenly gasped. His breathing became sharp and shaky. Then he whispered, "He's standing outside my door now, but I can still hear him downstairs." The line went dead seconds later. Police arrived 13 minutes after the call. The house was completely empty. No family. No signs of forced entry. Just muddy footprints leading into the basement and stopping abruptly at the wall. The story should have ended there, buried in police files like thousands of other unexplained cases. But 3 weeks later, Officer Darren Holt, the first man who entered that basement, began recording strange incidents in a private journal. At first it was harmless things, hearing footsteps in his attic, waking up with dirt beneath his fingernails, finding doors open that he swore he locked. Then the entries became more disturbing. Darren claimed he saw people standing motionless outside his house at night, staring directly into his bedroom window without blinking. Whenever he rushed outside, they were gone before he reached the porch. One night Darren wrote that he woke to the sound of breathing beside his bed. Not human breathing. It was uneven, bubbling, almost drowned. He reached for his lamp, but before he switched it on, a voice spoke from the darkness inches from his face. "You looked into the basement." Darren turned on the light instantly. Nothing was there, but the carpet beside his bed was soaked with muddy water, and a trail of footprints led out into the hallway. His wife Melissa thought he was losing his mind. Sleep deprivation, trauma, stress, anything except the truth. But she changed her opinion after the incident in their kitchen. Darren had fallen asleep at the table while reviewing old case photos. Melissa was upstairs putting away laundry when she heard him speaking softly below. At first she assumed he was talking in his sleep, until she realized another voice was answering him. She walked halfway down the stairs and froze. Darren still sat asleep at the table. Yet standing in the kitchen corner was a tall figure shaped vaguely like a man, its body dripping black liquid onto the tiles. Its face looked unfinished, as if someone had tried molding Darren's features from melted wax and failed. Melissa screamed. The creature snapped its head toward her so quickly its neck cracked loudly. Darren woke instantly, and the thing vanished before either could move. But the smell remained. Rotting water and mildew flooded the kitchen for hours afterward. Even after they scrubbed every surface, the next journal entries became frantic. Darren stopped sleeping entirely. He wrote that mirrors in the house no longer reflected him correctly. Sometimes his reflection smiled when he didn't. Sometimes it lagged behind his movements by a second or two. Once he claimed the reflection raised a finger too, its lips before the mirror cracked down the center. Melissa begged him to see a doctor, but Darren refused. He believed the thing from the basement had followed him home. Then came the recordings. Darren installed security cameras throughout the house after hearing footsteps. Every night at exactly 2:13 a.m. For 3 nights, nothing appeared. On the 4th night, the upstairs hallway camera captured Melissa leaving her bedroom and walking downstairs slowly with her eyes closed. She stood perfectly still at the basement door for nearly 2 minutes before returning upstairs. The next night, both Darren and Melissa appeared on camera doing the same thing at the exact same time, but the 6th recording was different. At 2:13 a.m., the camera showed Darren asleep on the couch. A few seconds later, another Darren walked out of the basement. The second version moved strangely, jerking with tiny, unnatural spasms. Its arms hung too long at its sides. It slowly approached the sleeping Darren and simply stood there watching him for almost an hour. At one point its jaw unhinged impossibly wide, as if trying to stretch into a smile. Then, just before the recording ended, the thing turned directly toward the camera and winked. Police later recovered the footage after neighbors reported screams from the Holt residence. Officers arrived to find the front door open and every light inside shattered. Darren and Melissa were gone. The only thing left in the house was Darren's journal sitting open on the kitchen table. The final entry had been written so hard the pen tore. Through several pages beneath it, it read, "It learns by watching." If you see someone you love standing still in the dark, don't speak to them. Don't let them know you noticed. Because if it realizes, you can tell the difference. It stops pretending. Authorities sealed the house within days. But locals still claim strange things happen near it after midnight. Drivers passing by report seeing silhouettes watching from the upstairs windows. Some even claim they've seen Darren himself standing in the yard soaking wet, whispering for help. But those who stop their cars and get too close all describe the same. Horrifying detail. His face is never the same twice. If you enjoyed this terrifying story, make sure to subscribe to the Obscuron Files channel. Press the bell icon and don't forget to like, comment, and share the video, because the next story might be even worse.